This was the most difficult trailer I've ever made.
Bro, that's impossible, man. It's perfect.
This is the Sonic 3 trailer, and I recreated it entirely. Well, to be honest, it took a long time to make. But today, I'm going to show you how I recreated the Sonic 3 trailer in Minecraft. Okay, I started by separating this trailer into several parts. To be more specific, into 2 groups with 5 scenes each, because my
Hold on, man. Why did you split it into groups?
Because my friend is going to help me build the map, and you're gonna need to build more than 22 different scenarios. So here's the deal, each of us will take a part.
Wait, man. So how many scenarios are you going to make?
I was just about to say that. I'll do 11 and he'll do 11.
11 plus 11? So that makes 22.
And we also can forget about the characters. There are 12 that appeared in the trailer. There's Sonic, Shadow, Tails,
How are you going to make it in the game?
using the Blockbench app. But I will do that later. When a character shows up, I will create on or whatever. I'll just use a ready-made on.
Alright, man. Don't forget to explain why you are making this trailer, okay?
Yes, Lucky. I will explain to you soon the reason I am making such a difficult trailer. Meanwhile, I'll show you how I recreated the first scene where Sonic appears. It's literally a forest. Okay, remember the 2 groups I mentioned before? My part has 11 scenes, and I'm going to start from the beginning of the trailer. This is the first shot where Sonic appears running through a forest. Right after that, he passes by a log, and then there's some scenes in the city. But let's leave the city for later and continue with the forest. Right after, Sonic appears talking to his friend Stone in an abandoned place. Then, he's sliding on a log. That's what I'm going to recreate first. Here in Minecraft, I loaded a map I downloaded from the internet with a big forest. That looks a lot like the one from the movie. So I'm going to start by making the first scene where he appears running on the tree trunk. Here, I'm going to build this trunk. I have a mod that can help me. It makes moving blocks much easier. Now, I just need to add more realistic details. And now, I'm going to use this tool to help me with the details. A tree trunk has roots and loose pieces, so I just need to fill it in with chisel and bits. And then, I spend some more time just working on the detail and should the trunk look really nice. Now the scene will show Sonic running through here really fast, so you won't even notice the details properly. Well, with this first part of the forest ready, I'm going to select the characters I will use for the recording. In this case, it's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Tom. Here in the BBS mod, I can create a camera, so I'm going to position it here as if it were a drone. I'm reflecting what I want. I also grab the characters now. I have a bunch here, but the ones I need are Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Tom. I use the skin because he's wearing a plaid shirt, and in the original scene, he's literally wearing a plaid shirt. So I'll position myself here using the slash effect command and apply the speed effect. Then I'll hit the record button. The content is already show up at the top, and there I can see the camera lines. All I need to do is follow the tunnel, come out here and cut. In the trailer scene, it's not quite like this. He goes around the trunk, so I need to do that. When Sonic passes through here, I'll create an animation with him rotating his body. After that, I'll just fix the details to make it look like he's really stepping on the tree's wood. The next scene is the one where Knuckles and Tails appear. The scene where they appear, it's quite short. In the background, there's a tent where they are standing in front of. It's a bit blurry, so you can't see much detail, but I'm going to create a scene here as if it were the background of the image. It doesn't show up much, but I'll do this just to add a bit more to the scene, with some flags and so on. I didn't really need to do this, but I enjoy adding this small detail. So I recorded with Tails and Knuckles. I just left them standing still, and then I used the mod to animate them. The first scenes are almost done. And the next scene is Sonic talking to Tom in a sort of abandoned setting where he sees a drawing he made as a child. So I built a scene. I added some old looking stone walls, a few decorations that will be blurry in the shot, and Sonic's drawing next to some vines. And it turned out really nice in the end. Well, the first scenes are done, but there's still a lot to do. We need to work on the Shadow first appearance, their fight with the Shadow, Dr. Eggman, and a bunch of the other things. Now we are going to work on the Shadow's first appearance. He's trapped inside some experimental tubes, where he managed to break free. This is going to be pretty hard to recreate because I need to show how the glass breaking, and I'm not sure how to make glass break in Minecraft. I'm going to show the scenes I've already made to Lucky, so you can compare them. Here's the original version with Sonic from the movie, and these are my scenes in Minecraft. They are the same scenes, but remember, at the end of the video, I will combine them all to create the full trailer. So make sure to watch until the end.
It turned out so good, man.
Oh, okay, thanks.
But hey, are you going to explain why you are recreating the trailer?
Yes, I do.
And say it, man.
Later, bro.
By the way, how did the scenarios turn out?
Oh damn, look, it just reminded me that I forgot to ask Guilherme for the scenarios. If you're not understanding, remember at the beginning of the video, my friend was supposed to help me create the scenario. I was going to make 11 and he was going to make 11. I just forget to ask him. So I sent a message to my friend asking if he could build the 11 scenarios I needed. I told him it's for a video where I'm making the Sonic trailer in Minecraft, and now I just have to wait for his answer. Guys, taking advantage of the moment, follow me on Instagram. I post things from my life and spoilers of common videos. Thanks. While I wait for him to answer the message, let's move on to the next part. It was supposed to be Shadow's first appearance, but I need to wait for his answer to build a map. So we're going to come here and start working on the scenes that have the city. The good thing is that I don't need to build a city. There are several online, but specifically this one is from London with that clock. Well, there's a scene where Knuckles is standing on the clock and he jumps forward. Then, there are a few scenes of Sonic running through the city and crossing a bridge, and one where Knuckles is flying in the sky with fire in his hands. So, let's start with Knuckles on the clock. I'm going to create a camera here and position it just right, with the correct angle, zooming in on the clock. I come here in the editor and add a replay. In this case, it's Knuckles, so I'll position him. Now, I'll adjust the keyframes. I created an animation with him leaning on the clock and jumping. The goal is to make him jump forward. This scene will be quick, so the movement will hardly to be noticed, especially since the camera shot will be far away. He's just going to give a little boost forward. So I'm going to add an animation breath here to make it smooth. The editing will have a nice lighting effect with After Effects, like a power-up effect. Well, okay, this next part, Knuckles is flying over the city, so I'm going to create a base for him to stay on and adjust the animation, making it look like he's flying, kind of flying down like this. Then I adjusted Knuckles' animation with his legs bent and hands forward, and it turned out really. Now we have a scene of Sonic running really fast through the city, crossing over the edge of the bridge. The closest bridge I found here in the city is this one. I think I can make him run here, but there's one problem. For example, if I set the speed here, it won't look good. Sonic isn't that fast because you're using blocks. And if I enable auto jump, which would be for climbing, it doesn't work well either. Look at that. He's way too slow with auto jump. It messes everything up. So what I'm going to do to make this work is create a manual animation. For example, I'll add Sonic somewhere here, and then a little further ahead, I will put him forward. I need to try to make him follow this line of the bridge. Okay, let me see if this looks interesting. Right here, you can tell that he's floating, not touching the ground. So I'm going to adjust the keyframes here to make it look right. Then I kept adjusting his animation until I really looked like he was climbing the bridge. Oh yeah, now it looks better. It seems like he's really touching the blocks. But we'll still have a problem. There's always have a problem with these animations. In this case, his foot isn't moving. If you look at animation, his foot is completely stiff. There's no animation. To fix this, it's not that hard. We'll create a pose for him like the running pose. You know, one foot forward, one back. And in the next keyframe, we'll do the same thing, but in reverse. Then I recorded him running, and everything turned out fine. Well, the scenes of the city are almost done. I've already got Knuckles and Sonic run through them. Now, we just need to add Shadow to face Sonic and his friends. There's going to be a battle between them. But Guy just sent a message saying the map is ready. So, let's check it out. And then, we'll come back to the city. Sounds good? Entering here to check the map, you can tell it's pretty faithful to the trailer. There's the prison where Shadow is locked up from the distance, and the tubes he escapes from. Both the normal version and the destroying version. Well, now, these scenes were actually the most challenging. I started by recording a camera with shaders for the prison, capturing it from a distant angle. Then, I filmed some scenes of him trapped inside the tube, breaking all of the glass with his hands. Look, I made the scenes of Shadow breaking the tube. It was really difficult because I had to animate on all the glass shards. Now, we need to make him escaping from the cops, then he kicks one of the cops. I animated all of this as well. I will let the scenes play here for you watch. My version versus the original version. And we've practically done all the scenes so far. There are only 2 more scenes in the city left. The one with Dr. Eggman and some smaller scenes that aren't as important. As I mentioned, Guy made 11 scenarios, and one of them is this one, where Dr. Eggman appears and Sonic asks for his help to defeat Shadow. The first thing I'm going to do is position his chair exactly here. Dr. Eggman will be sitting with his back to the chair with his hands on his belly. Then I'll go to the camera editor and animation him with the chair spinning. And technically, it will look like this. He'll spin around. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails will be here waiting. And now, I made some more animations like Dr. Eggman assistants cutting his hair. And Dr. Eggman smelling Sonic's hair. This part is ready. Look at how it's turning out. Here's the comparison between the original versus mine.
Doctor, we have visitors.
This is sad, Robotnik.
even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition. Let's do this! If I can't rule the world...
And guys, the trailer is almost done. I'll show you the full result soon. Right now, there are just 10 more scenes left. But don't worry, because out of those 10, only 1 is difficult. The other 9 are very short scenes that appear for 2 or 3 seconds at most. So to save time, I'm going to do these 9 quick scenes first. Since not much happens in them, I can summarize for you. I started by having Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles racing. Then I added Eggman's ship coming out of a river in the middle of the New York. And the next one was a scene full of fire and destruction. And from what it looks like, it's Shadow in the back of the crochet. Then Shadow looks at himself in the mirror, followed by a scene with a kind of black hole. Next, Shadow is on a motorcycle. Then there is a part where a robot appears, which will be Dr. Eggman's robot. Sonic and the gang are searching for clues, maybe inside a room. And this last quick scene is Shadow inside a green glass container with a girl in the front of him. Now, the simpler scenes are done, so we can finally move on to the last one.
How are you finally going to show how I challenge you?
Man, why do you want me to show how you challenge me?
You look good in the video, trust me.
Okay.
I was at home when I watched the trailer. As soon as it came out.
Yes, and after you watch the trailer, you came and asked me to recreate it. But I told you it won't take too long.
I am sure it might take about 5 months.
I know, even if it takes 5 months, people will still want to watch and leave it a lot of likes. I know, but it wasn't such a fun challenge.
That's how I challenge him.
You could be at least challenge me with $20.
Man, I literally have no money.
Okay, now I'm going to do the last scene. To save time, I'll show you really quick. Shadow is going to come here and start fighting with everyone. I need to animate his movements, hitting Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic. And finally, I can show you the result. Okay, now I'm going to show the result of the trailer, and then I want to talk to you, my subscribers, okay? Alright, let's see what you think. I'll put it here on TV, and let's go.
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Try to keep up.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
Or your heart.
There's been a high-level security breach. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Shadow's story began a lot like yours, Sonic. But where you found family and friends, Shadow found only pain and loss.
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No, no! My turn. Can we just talk about this? He's too powerful. Sonic! I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need you-know-who.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor!
We have visitors.
This is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition. Let's do this! If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it! I need room.
But, sir, I don't have the proper materials.
Found some.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat code!
What did you do?
What I had to.
Nice, man. Nice, man.
Is that all you're gonna say? A trailer that took 5 months? Oh god, fuck. So, if you like my videos, I'd like to talk to you. If you like my work, stay here and listen to what I have to say. If not, that's okay, but probably many of you noticed that video turned out a bit different. The voice in the video is different because this is my first video I recorded in English using my own voice. Many of you know that my main channel is recorded in Portuguese. I am Brazilian, but for those you don't know, I don't usually speak in English. To be honest, I've been training every day to be able to record better videos for you. Normally, I use my AI voice in my videos, but this video today, I recorded it on my own, so I hope you like it. And there are probably a lot of mistakes in my English because I'm a still beginner, but I plan to train every day so I can soon record a special video just for you. I hope you understand this and help me. Comment below what you think and if you have a tip for me to improve. Thank you. Oh, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm posting things from my daily life. There you can see how I make videos and etc.